Final Fantasy Tactics have inspired many generations of Final Fantasies, from Final Fantasy XII, which was also set in Ivalice, to Final Fantasy XIV, which had multiple raids set in the Tactics world. It didn't stop there, as even 16's atmosphere and writing style were heavily reminiscent of this game. But it was talked about like a lost relic, since the newer generation had no access or idea about this game and its influence on the franchise. Gladly, this is changing because Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles, which is a remaster for this legendary title, is set to release for every console out there and PC on the 13th of September. And thanks to Square Enix, I was provided this early copy to be able to bring you this review and find out how does this remaster blow off the dust from this gem. Right off the bat, Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles gives you the options to choose between the original version and the remastered version, which is obviously the version we are going to discuss today. This remaster is so faithful to the original's art style. Everything is touched up or straight up replaced with a totally new asset without breaking the original's art style. You will mostly notice that the 3D assets are completely replaced with the new ones. And then in terms of fidelity, this remaster may look dated for today's standards in some areas, especially the resolution. You will notice that it kind of gets blurry in some areas, but when you look back at the original game and then jump back into the remaster, you'll realize how much effort and mind put into it, and they make up for it with the reworked lighting and colors to make things pop out nicely in modern screens. So as long as if you get into this remaster with the expectations of improved pixel quality and better 3D effects, then you will have no issues. But it is by no means a remake. I just wanted to get this out of the way because I've seen a lot of people being very confused. And the biggest addition we have in this version is the voice acting. None of the other versions of Final Fantasy Tactics has any sort of voice acting. And God, I was so mind blown by the voice direction and performance by every single character. The script got rewritten completely by the original game's writer, Yasumu Matsuno. Add this to the level of 16's voice acting, and every conversation sounding like it's a rap battle. And thanks to that, the story of Tactics have never been better. You are Ramza Beowulf of House Beowulf, who rebelled against his own kingdom for their questionable actions. None of the game's characters are about black and white, but everyone have their own motives, even if it is morally flawed. They stand strong for their beliefs and ideologies, which made them feel very human. And the voice acting, I can't stress how it is one of the best in the franchise. No, some of the best in any Japanese game. When a Final Fantasy needs a medieval political story as a blueprint, they don't need to look at Game of Thrones. They have this which completely clears and has the right amount of political drama and fantasy, something not even 16 managed to balance out. The story is not the only hook this game has. The gameplay is one of the most complex and customizable experiences in any Final Fantasy game to an overwhelming degree. The game does an okay job explaining the basics of its mechanics, but so many details are left behind for the players to decipher them and run into so many trial and errors until they find the right setup and jobs they are comfortable with, which may frustrate the newcomers or players who are not familiar with this kind of a game. It is so punishing at times where permadeath is definitely a factor, so make sure to raise your knockdown party members before they lose all their hard points and die for good. For me though, I am having a blast with this system, since it adds so many layers and provides an experience that is so different than your traditional Final Fantasy games. I only wish though if they have done a better job at balancing these jobs, since running a dual-wielding ninja just overshadows every single other melee job to a high degree. And some jobs just straight up feel useless and a missed opportunity. But don't worry, since the game added the option to choose from 3 different difficulties: Squire for easy, Knight for normal, and Tactician for the hard difficulty. I found all the 3 to be fun, and especially the Tactician as someone who's returning into the game for maybe the 2nd or 3rd time. In conclusion, Final Fantasy Tactics The Ivalice Chronicles is the definitive way to experience this masterpiece. Even though it's missing some of the War of the Lions content, that is still perfectly fine. It's clear the developers focused their efforts on rewriting the script and adding voice acting to elevate the beloved original experience to even greater heights. I'll be honest though, when it was first announced as just a remaster with voices, I was severely disappointed, but after experiencing it firsthand, I can confidently say I'm more than satisfied. I can't ask for anything more right now, except maybe a brand new Tactics experience in the future. Anyways, Tactics is back and it has once again proven itself to be the timeless masterpiece it's always been. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.